Hello and welcome. On this week of the 5 faculties as the theme. And now on Friday, the 5th faculty is wisdom. And an alternative translation of panya, often translated as wisdom, is discernment. Our faculty, our capacity to be discerning in the moment, to have insight about what is useful and not useful to do, what is skillful, what is wholesome to do. And this very basic distinction that guides what we engage in, what we do with our lived life as we live it, is invaluable. That we always have a guide, a support, a reference point for how to go forward. And that's maybe fundamental to every purpose we have. The activities in which we engage in all fall back to a common denominator when we're doing Buddhist practice. We see it with wisdom. We see it with discernment. And the simple discernment is we know to do those things that bring happiness, bring well-being, bring a feeling of ease or calm or peace, and we avoid those things that does the opposite. And so when we sit and meditate, we start getting a clear sense that certain things we do are not really useful, not really beneficial for ourselves. To spend a lot of time thinking, planning, reviewing, fantasizing, is seen, oh, this is not so useful. There's a discernment, a clear knowing, a clear insight. It's obvious, oh, there's better things to do than be caught up in thoughts. We can be mindful, we can be present for our lived experience, really be here with this. And part of the reason to be here, this is where the evidence exists for becoming discerning, becoming wise. We see in our own experience that when we have the hindrances operating, it doesn't serve us. When there is greed, strong desire for something, when there's ill will, when we're stuck in fear or caught up in fear or torpor, resistance, when there's restlessness and regrets remorse that we're just spinning out on, and when we don't know what to do, we're uncertain, we have doubts, we're wavering, these are not so healthy for us. But to have confidence in a path of practice where we show up for our lives in a clear way, that we engage with a certain kind of heroic effort, like, yes, being present here, this is invaluable. To accompany ourselves with mindfulness, be present for our experience. Yes. To immerse ourselves in the experience, to really be composed and steady here in our experience. Yes, stay here, be here. These are the valuable things to do. And we can feel how the unwholesome stuff creates stress, strain. In fact, the core discernment is between stress and the absence of stress, between ouch and ah. So when we sit today, is to sit with mindful discernment, discerning mindfulness, where we can discern, oh, this way of being is stressful. There must be another way. At least we can become mindful of it in a simple, straightforward, maybe calm way, peaceful mindfulness. That's how we can engage. So assuming a meditation posture and gently closing the eyes. And take time to settle into your body. Begin by reorienting yourselves to your embodied experience. Whatever your mind is caught up in, gently tell your mind, this is not the time. There's something more important to do now. Here, to be present in lived experience through the body. And as you exhale, to relax your body. With the mind's discernment, we can discern and see that holding tension is not so beneficial. That relaxing the tension, softening around the tension, that is wholesome. That's a good thing to do. And then relaxing the thinking mind. Having mental tension is also not so beneficial. What is beneficial is to soften and relax that tension. Letting the thinking mind become calmer and slower. Maybe by reassuring your thinking mind that here and now, sitting in meditation is safe. This is a time for renewal and deeper connection to support you to live your life in a wiser way later. It's okay to let go of your concerns for these minutes. Maybe you'll be in a better place to consider them after your meditation. Softening, let go of your thinking mind. And then in the discernments of the Buddha, what he has discovered is that mindfulness is always helpful. The mindfulness that accompanies our lived experience. And then one of the really wholesome ways of doing that is to accompany your breathing. Accompany it with a peaceful presence, peaceful attention. to meditate with the discernment of what is the most valuable thing to do right now in meditation. Is it to allow the mind to be hijacked by your thoughts? Or is it to wake up, to be here, so that this invaluable capacity you have to accompany yourself, be present for your life, is applied to the lived experience in meditation of breathing, of body, being discerning, to let go of what is stressful, that you can let go of, and engage in what is beneficial. Accompanying yourself with discernment here and now. to gently, quietly, maybe peacefully be discerning about this moment. And as you go into the next moment, how will you engage with the next moment? How will you show up for it that feels wholesome, beneficial, without stress or strain? Not just being present for what is, this moment, but being discerning of how you're going to be now so you can receive the next moment. And then coming to the end of the sitting with some discernment, some care and wisdom to bring forth something in the family of goodwill, kindness, basic friendliness for yourself, where you let yourself know that you're here to accompany yourself with goodwill, with friendliness and care. And to extend that goodwill and care and friendliness out into the world. Yes, to this world, this difficult world that we live in. I have the discernment to know how valuable it is to show up with goodwill, not with ill will, not with distraction, not with the mind hijacked by regrets and anxieties. To show up for this world as a friend of the world. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. And may the way that I show up for this world contribute to that possibility, even if it's only for the next person I meet. May all beings be happy. Thank you. So, hello everyone, and welcome to this fifth talk on the five faculties, these five kind of inner powers that we have. And whereas in the ancient world they call them aspects of Indra, the great god, so divine qualities inside. In a colloquial English, we might say that these days that there are superpowers that we have. They're so important, these five indriyas, these five faculties, capacities. So they all have to do with action, not about just understanding and seeing, except that understanding and seeing is a kind of action, is an engagement. And this idea of choicefully engaging, consciously engaging with our life is not something we often hear in the meditation circles, where a lot of it's about relaxing, settling back, being receptive, not asserting oneself. And those are fantastic ways to engage. They're a kind of engagement. There's something we do with choice. We're activating something to be receptive. We're activating letting go. And this here, in the five faculties, we're emphasizing the activation of something which is nourishing, helpful, sustaining, freeing for us. And so to activate confidence in what we're doing, not to do things out of habit, not to do things out of just because we should, not to do things because we're forced to, but like when you come to meditation, to choose to engage in a conscious, kind of deliberate way. That yes, I'm engaging in this. I'm going to be here for this. But not in a way that's stressful, not in a way that stirs things up, but does the opposite. It helps us to embody, inhabit what we're doing, that something settles and relaxes. Like someone who is engaged in doing, something like yoga or Tai Chi, Qigong. It takes effort. We have to put ourselves into it. But in the movements of these practices, something begins to quiet and settle and let go, and we're more and more embodied in here. But there is a choice to engage, to activate, and to enter into the activation that something harmonizes. So the confidence in practice is that what gets us going and chooses yes, big yes, let's do it. And sometimes it takes heroic effort. It takes courage to show up here and now. Sometimes it's courage because it goes against the prevailing winds of society, that there's more emails to answer, there's more Netflix movies to watch, there's more this and that, and things to do, and get busy, and things are, in dire straits. We're alarmed by how things are, so we have to kind of get anxious and busy. To be courageous, that we don't have to do that. In fact, we show up better for the world and care for the world better if we show up calmly, relaxedly, openly, prepared, smart, to be able to tune into what's happening. So to have the courage to do this. And then the fifth faculty is mindfulness, which and this week I've been presenting as accompaniment. We choose to accompany, we engage in this practice of accompanying ourselves, the world around us, as if we're a good friend. A non-judgmental friend who's there to listen and see and hold everything there with care. And then to steady ourselves in that, to immerse ourselves in this present moment experience, like a good, maybe again with these movement practices of yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong or other ones, that we immerse ourselves in the activity we're doing, and it's almost like we forget ourselves and forget time, playing a musical instrument, doing a craft. There are things we do which takes effort and energy, but when we finish doing them, we feel much more relaxed. The steadiness, because we're immersing ourselves in what we're doing. So, and then the fifth faculty for today is usually translated as wisdom, and today I'm offering it as discernment, because wisdom is always present moment focused, to see in such a way that we're wise, so which is another meaning for discernment. And the idea is to discern useful ways to be present for this world, useful way to activate our accompaniment, our mindfulness, our life, this wonderful gift we've been given of consciousness, being consciously aware, to be discerning about how we can use that, how we can be aware, so that it reduces stress. It doesn't add to stress. Not only does it reduce stress, it also brings forth a higher quality, beneficial way of being in the world. It allows for some deeper sensitivity, deeper flow of goodwill and wisdom and freedom, and not so different again, doing a movement like yoga and Tai Chi and Qigong, that we might even be stressed out and hardly able to think very well for ourselves when we start. But at the end of the class, we're much more present and ready to have conversations with people and take care of things and be in the world in a nice, open, clear way. So to be discerning about what we're doing as we engage in our accompaniment of life. How do we accompany it so there's less stress? Tensing up, rushing, being angry, having ill will, having desires, caught up in fantasies that obscure how well we can see what's there. Those are not skillful. We can see that, we can feel it. And we learn over time that that's not the way to live a life. A free life, a productive life, a useful life is one that we're engaged and activate, being present with this beautiful capacity of conscious awareness. And so to inhabit that, to have confidence in that, to have courage to show up this way, to have the accompaniment that allows conscious awareness to really flower and to sustain it, to be steadied in it, composed in it. That's what discernment supports us to do. And in the teachings of the Buddha, it tends to be binary, that this kind of distinctions that between what is helpful and what is not helpful. And that's my words for the translating the Buddha, kind of my paraphrasing of it. But just that, is what I'm doing now helpful, or is it not helpful? And if it's at all unhelpful, don't do it. Have enough discernment to recognize, I don't think this is helpful. And certainly if you're going to make the situation worse, don't do it. Have enough discernment to know what not to do. Just that is life-changing. But then if in addition you have the discernment, the clarity in this moment, how to activate, how to bring forth conscious awareness in a way that is beneficial, is onward leading, helps you become wiser and clearer, helps you to be present in a nice way for this world of ours and for others. Do it, by all means, and do it a lot. Let it fill your life. Let yourself be immersed in a life of conscious awareness with the confidence, the courage, the showing up, the giving yourself to being discerning. Having the discernment to know that confidence is good. Confidence, what is good to have confidence in? This practice, to have the courage to know what to do. Conscious awareness showing up. To have discernment to know the value of accompaniment. That how you accompany your life is where conscious awareness can flower. To have the discernment to know that jumping around and being scattered and preoccupied is not so useful. Being present, steady, continuous, being here, that is useful. So these are superpowers. These are amazing capacities we do have. Each one of you has this. And in Buddhism, these are becoming activated. These are becoming used and flowering for us in ways that are so beneficial. And when these becomes strong, in fact, the Buddha called them the 5 powers. So to call them superpowers is maybe a little bit cute, but in fact he called it bala in Pali, and so strengths. And so to have these strengths, then they not only is what we activate, the faculties we wake up and use, but they become sustaining qualities that are there kind of carrying us along, supporting us in everything we do. So thank you very much. And so next week I'll be on retreat and at IRC, and I'm just going to see who is speaking next week. It's Matthew Brentsilder is going to be here next week, and he's a wonderful teacher, and you'll be in very good hands with Matthew. And I'll be back the following week, and we'll continue on this kind of introduction to mindfulness part 2 that we're doing now. And so those of you who might be new, for the beginning of the year I did a 25-part introduction to mindfulness, the basic practice we do here at IMC. And then I'm following that with this part 2, and now we've done 10 in the series, the 5 hindrances and now the 5 faculties. And we'll continue with this kind of theme when I return. And thank you for being here and being part of it. And I certainly look forward to coming back in about 10 days. Oh, and the last thing I want to say before we quit is that this is I think today in some ways marks the end of 4 years of doing these YouTube teachings for me. I think that sometime next week, I think maybe like the 14th of March or something, is the 4-year mark. We started on a Monday 4 years ago. And so those are 4 wonderful years. I'm grateful to be doing this, and grateful to all of you that we have this chance to meet this way and practice and teach. And so my appreciation for this opportunity. Thank you.